Film photography can be expensive, especially with the recent price increases by Kodak and the discontinuation of film by Fuji. Therefore, I'm going to show you how you can save money on film. The first and maybe one of the most obvious ways is to buy expired film. Lots of people know that buying expired film can be very cheap, but it can also be very effective to also yield some pretty good results. These 3 expired film stocks were bought in England and they cost me about £2. One of these films expired in 1986 and the other 2 don't have any dates, so I'm not sure when they expired. However, old film like this can often yield bad results with different color casts and artifacts on the film. However, if you buy film that's not too expired, maybe 1 to 5 years, you can probably get the same results out of those as if they were brand new. Even old film stocks like these can still be used in an artistic way because they create some interesting results. However, I wouldn't shoot anything important on these films because, as I said, they may not turn out at all. The next way to save money on film is something that I've done personally, but in a very specific way. Buying film in bulk can be buying a whole bulk roll from Ilford, for example HP5 or Kodak with their 400 T-Max, but then you have to roll it into your own canisters, which can be quite difficult if you don't have the know-how or the equipment. However, I bought 20 rolls of 400 T-Max, which expired in 2007. Now the interesting thing about this is it is an original Kodak shipment of film in 2005 to Germany from Eastman Kodak themselves. I picked up this box of T-Max for €60. That means it's about 1/3 of the market price of 20 rolls of new T-Max. Another way to save money on film is buying it from where it's produced. For example, Ilford is produced in the UK and Kodak is produced in the USA. If you know somebody in the US or the UK who could send you these films, you might be able to save a lot of money on them. Buying film from a vendor like B&H and sending it to your country might actually be cheaper than buying it in your country, but make sure to check the import fees in your country. For example, this roll of HP5 in Germany costs €6.45, whereas in the UK it costs about £4. And even when doing the pounds to euros conversion, it is actually cheaper to buy it in the UK. For example, I sent Joachim, my friend in Finland, 4 rolls of Ultramax and 4 rolls of Color Plus from Germany. And even with sending it and buying the films, it was cheaper to buy it here and send it than it was to buy it in Finland. Another good way to find film for a little bit cheaper than market price is by looking on eBay for missed purchase boxes. I purchased this box of Portra 400, which is in date until November 2022, for about €10 less than retail, just because somebody had bought the 120 version films instead of the 35mm films. Now this can happen to a lot of people and therefore they want to get rid of their films if they can't return them. So be on the lookout. If you shoot 35mm, be on the lookout for people who have mispurchased that instead of 120, or vice versa. This is a great way to save money on expensive film stocks like Portra 400, Portra 160, 800, Ektar, and the rest. The final recommendation I have for you is to buy film in drugstores. Now in Germany, DM and Rossmann have various different films available, including Kodak Gold, Ultramax, Color Plus, Fuji C200, and 2 black and white stocks by Agfa. One is a 100 ISO film and the other one is a 400 ISO film. You'll be able to find your entire range there. This is a great choice if you shoot any of these films already, or if you're only looking for cheap films for a point and shoot or to experiment with. I always recommend supporting your local film stores. However, they often inflate the prices of these cheap films, but I would recommend buying your cheap films at a place like a drugstore and then buying your more expensive stocks at those film stores because those are relatively the same price everywhere. One bonus tip. If you ask for film stock for Christmas or your birthday or any other celebrations, then you get it for free. And if you recommend your friends and family some good stores to buy it from, you can probably get a good variety and exactly what you want.